Chapter 2. The Beginning. For the love of whatever is keeping me from pointing a finger at the waste of space I came from, I won't give away its name. You know who you are. I lived in Schmuckville my whole life, born, raised, then unleashed. My parents moved from the Emerald City just before I was born. They wanted a fresh start in a safe, small town for the precious cargo they were expecting. My father started a jewelry shop. As a master jeweler from the city, he met some resistance from the surroundings. Despite the town hierarchy, his pursuit quickly took root and grew to more limbs in neighboring towns. He was a brilliant jewelsmith with an eye for all things shiny. The little smogs and hobbits from my town couldn't help themselves, since they too loved all things shiny. Greedy and spiteful as they were, they did have good taste, and my father brought all the new and fashionable trends the townsfolk had been in the Dark Ages over. Despite what he and my mother brought to the table, the contents of Shitville had loved their hierarchy just as it was, and they had disrupted the order with their new money and lack of roots binding them to the royal families of the small, tight-knit community. Despite them, my parents carved out their little castle in the land. Since the contents of Shitville couldn't take out their disdain for my family on my parents' business, they levied it against their offspring. I didn't stand a chance. Their children mostly shunned me until, emboldened by their parents' gossip, they proceeded to bully me. I could almost hear their parents speaking through them in the insults they offered, some of which were extremely creative, credit where it's due. I preferred the rocks to their words, if I'm honest. It wasn't until the third time I'd come home bleeding from the playground that my mother changed tactics. Kill them with kindness wasn't working, so she took me to martial arts training, cautioning me to only use what I learned for self-defense. I listened. It only took kicking Rachel Kelly's ass one time to send the little cockroaches scattering to their hidey holes, to hiss at me from afar. Hadn't taken them long to rally the troops either. My mother had kept picture proof of the damage their gremlins had done to her little angel. So when the townspeople showed up with their torches and pitchforks, squealing about how my mother's little hellion had unleashed all hell on the little scumbag masquerading as a martyr, she let them speak. She gracefully watched, nodding her head to their accusations, a silent brick house, until they'd finished their piece. Then one by one, without a word, she'd laid out the numerous Polaroids for each to see, each labeled with the names of those responsible for the damage done to her child in red permanent marker. One by one, they walked away, tail between their legs. That moment is burned deep into my memory, a constant reminder of why my parents were heroes in an ocean of hypocrites and creeps. I'd like to pause and take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for the thick skin. Because of you, I learned to take a punch smiling through missing teeth.